Hello friends and welcome to Shadow Gaming. Once again, we're playing Manor Lords. So when I last left Manor Lords, I had just set up trade on roof tiles. So hopefully we'll be able to start getting in some of our regional wealth and start taxing that to get that over into our personal wealth so we can hire more mercenaries. So that's going to be one of my main goals. Can check out our trading post. Got wooden parts here. We were also working on making sure we have our men equipped with spears and shields again. So we can check that out here. Believe we've got... let's check out our military. Got enough shields, so we're just waiting on more spears to fully equip 2 units of spearmen. So let's make sure in our joiner shop we have them set to make wooden parts, and we'll also trade away those wooden parts for regional wealth. And in our blacksmith, we should still be making a few more spears before anything else. We are going to run into an issue where we're mined out of iron. We've still got some in storage here, but we don't have any more iron to mine. So once we use up this iron, that's it. So we will need to make it a goal to find iron somewhere else on the map in a different region, or get enough regional wealth to start importing iron. I think it's more likely we're going to find a rich deposit of iron, like right here, and unlock deep mining so we can have an infinite supply of that. Yeah, we'll probably create a new town over in what I renamed as Shadowy Region 2.0. We had also captured Zwaya, so let's go into Zwaya. And let's rename that quick. Shadow adjacent. All right, so overall, we have 3 more territories to conquer, 2 of which belong to our enemy, the Baron. And we have all of these territories we can start building in. We do need money in our treasury to set up a new town. So once again, it's very important that we start getting that regional wealth converted into our personal treasury so we can both hire mercenaries and start doing satellite towns. For this town, that shadowy region, we also want 1 more level 2 plot, so we can get to our next level of town and open a new development point. And I had forgotten to do this with our battle and everything, but we wanted a cobbler in this Burbage plot, so that's going to use up my 2 families that live here. And this is going to become a cobbler, and they're going to make shoes from leather, which will give us a second type of clothing. So we've got 35 total families, which will mean 70 total warriors. I think some of them will still need to recover family members after that battle, but let's keep going. So we are at 5 months of food, 8 months of fuel. Got plenty of people collecting wood. So let me build a couple more burbages so we can potentially get some more artisans in. And we also want to add a burbage that could be a vegetable patch. So here's some more housing plots. So those can build out. And let's put in one over here and for another vegetable patch so we can get more food. I guess 2 more. That's the other thing we'll need to think about when developing new regions, is we'll need to think about finding new sources of food. Let's speed time along while those build out. I want to wait for these to build out to upgrade one of them to level 2 so I can turn it into an artisan's workshop. Probably the next artisan I'll want is either a brewery. Well, we don't have any barley growing here, so maybe not a brewery. We might just import the ale directly. So, or Fletcher's workshop would be good. We're definitely getting more regional wealth in, like I wanted, which is pretty awesome. We've got 278 regional wealth in now, which means that'll start being taxed and heading over to our treasury. We now have 617 regional wealth. So let's start getting ale in. So the first thing we're going to want to do is build a tavern. So let's put our tavern here. So this will distribute ale once we have ale. And I'm hoping we only need ale in level 2, so let's go to our trading post. We'll want to go to commodities to ale. Let's import it. We'll need to open up a trade route for 160. And then let's start with 10. So it'll try to keep a stock of 10 ale in, and hopefully that won't bankrupt us. We're up to 250 in our personal treasury. I want to wait to get a little higher because I'll want to build a camp. I want to build a higher level camp in a different region, which will give them more starting supplies in that region. Alright, so I want to keep some of these for artisans. But in the meantime, let's expand some living spaces. And we'll also potentially add some eggs there. This is still building out. And then these over here we want to have vegetable plots. Still a little light on food. So let's get these vegetable plots going as quickly as possible. Then expand the living space, expand the living space. Our tavern is finished, so let's assign a worker here, and now this tavern will start distributing ale each month to our level 2 burbage plots. So like our joiner's shop, it needs tavern supply. But that means we'll start losing money bringing ale in every month since we aren't producing ale on our own. Ooh, I think we might have overproduced spears. We did. So let's turn the blacksmith to, well, we don't need anything, so let's just pause it right now, so we don't need the blacksmith producing anything for the moment. We've got a bandit camp. So our bandit camp will probably be down in this territory. Yep. So I'm just gonna hire some mercenaries to take care of that now that we've got a flow of income coming in. All right, so we just hired all 3 companies of mercenaries, and the reason for that is I don't want the Baron to have access to them. Because once the Baron hires mercenaries, we often don't get to hire them again later, and then later we have no one in the mercenary pool. And this way we don't need to, also by hiring mercenaries, we don't need to take our people away from their jobs. All right, here we come. So just have these 2 go straight for the unit. This one come around to the side and then take the camp itself. So this will be fairly straightforward, just bandits versus well-trained mercenaries. Nothing to worry about. Perfect. And let's have them come take out the camp. And we'll add that straight to our personal treasury, so we'll basically recoup what we lost on mercenaries. This belongs in my treasury now. Yep, so we're basically at our level of personal wealth that we were before. That also earned us more influence, so we're about 250 influence away from being able to claim this region. I may leave it active just so I can keep mining influence off of bandits. We are in February with 2 months supply of food, so we're a little dangerous on that. Even with importing ale, we have over 1,000 regional wealth, which is awesome. And it looks like these are still waiting to build their additional living spaces. So let's hope that gets done pretty quick. We are moving into March. The snow is melting, and I just want to say again how beautiful this game looks once you get down into the nitty-gritty of it. So it's telling us some of our burbage. So plots aren't meeting their requirements. For some reason, fuel isn't getting over here. So we need to figure out why. We have plenty of fuel. But I'm guessing maybe not enough stalls. So they can make 3 stalls, but perhaps they aren't able to transport it over to the market quickly enough. So what we're gonna do that is we're gonna build a storehouse over here, specifically for fuel, because families that store houses can move it, fuel 10 at a time rather than 1 at a time, so they'll be able to resupply that market quicker. I haven't built out the additional living space here, and I haven't given a backyard shed to these, so we want to put eggs there so we have more eggs coming in. I am going to get some more oxen in, so first let's build a hitching post. because I think that's part of what's slowing down our construction is not enough oxen to move timber around. And then I'm going to get 2 more oxen. I'm going to assign one of them to this saw pit full-time and then have a second ox available free full-time. All right, now that we have our hitching post, we're ordering an ox. And we can only order 1 livestock per month. Boom, we got our settlement level increase, so let's think about what's the next thing we want. We definitely want to work towards deep mining so we can have those infinite clay and roof tiles. So we'll unlock charcoal burning, and that'll allow us to actually produce a second type of fuel that's more efficient. We need to start turning timber into planks. I think having additional oxen will help with that, because it'll help us move timber over here. In fact, let's assign that additional ox here. So we now have a full-time ox at our saw pit to grab timber and move it over here. Okay, I've got a problem with these burbage plots. I didn't build them big enough to have a backyard. So that is my mistake. That's a waste of space. Because now these plots aren't going to be producing anything on their own. All they are is housing. So we're going to do this, unfortunately. We're going to demolish these and rebuild them bigger. And hopefully this won't create homelessness for us. So kind of a step backwards here. That did create 2 homelessness for us, so that's going to be an issue we'll need to solve here pretty quick. We just hopefully can get this lumber squared away so I can rebuild those in this area. But in the meantime, let's build a burbage plot along here. This time build it big enough to have a shed. So now that we have this storehouse built, we're gonna unassign everything except fuel. So we want charcoal and firewood. So that's all we're storing in this storehouse. And we want to assign a person here to move it around 10 at a time and hopefully get it over to the market quicker. Got another bandit camp, which is perfect. Because we want to collect that influence. Once again, we're going to do this with mercenaries. All right, so our bandits are heading out. Should be able to take care of this pretty quickly. Want that in our treasury. Then bring these guys around here. Good. Let's disband all our mercenaries. So took care of 2 more bandit camps since we started. So now we have over 1,000 influence. We also have our treasury at over 1,000. We've got 7 months worth of food. Got 1,800 regional wealth. So I think it's time to set up a satellite town. So just looking at what I have available to me. I might... Do we have anything that has high fertility? Not really. Yeah, so all the high farming fertility is in this region only. So the randomness kind of worked against us a little there. So we aren't really going to do farming at all apart from just vegetable gardens and orchards and the burbage plots. So I think we'll go here and we'll unlock deep mining to get our iron deposits going. And this will just be to supply iron back to our main town. So it's not much of a town. It's going to be pretty small. We really only need 2 development points and enough people to staff it. So we're going to come into the Shadowy Region 2.0. And we're going to come to the administration building and put in a settlers camp. Now, I want my settlers camp to be near where I can start collecting wood and food right away. So, probably near this fishing hole. We don't need to worry about chopping down these trees. We won't lose anything by chopping them down. Unlike these animals over here. Yeah, so we'll build here. And I want to do plentiful starting supplies, so this gives us a really high amount of supplies to start with, which gives us a good head start, but it costs extra of my personal wealth, 750, rather than 250 for the basic start. And this stuff is not unlocked yet, which means it's still early access. So we can't do farming, forest, or mining village, we just have to do town. Alright, so we just spent 750 personal wealth to add a camp here. And this is basically just like what we started with. We have some starting supplies, we have an ox, and we have homeless people's tents. So the first thing we want to do is... What do we have here? Shrine of some kind? I don't know what that does. We'll just demolish it. Alright. We want to build our town maybe along this road. So let's build a road out here. Let's put in a marketplace right away. Probably don't need a giant marketplace. This is going to be a fairly small town. So we have that. Then I'll want to put in a storage and a granary. And these I want to be my highest priority. Granary first, and then storehouse, so that we get our supplies stored away. Starting in winter is a little tricky because we only have well, we should be able to make it as long as our food doesn't spoil too quickly. I should have waited till spring to start, but it is what it is. So let's build up. We need firewood and a logging camp. And probably some planks as well. So there's our start in logging area, and we'll get that built as soon as we get our storehouses built. Let's grab a second ox right away. Obviously, we still want to keep an eye on our original town, make sure we're not running into problems here. Got 6 months worth of supplies. So we're starting to slow down on our food production, but I think we're doing better than last year. Still got a bit of homelessness, so let's expand that. And we're finally getting rid of these planks out of the way so I can rebuild what I had there. Expand this living space. We're doing on food. Plenty of berries, some vegetables, and a tiny bit of meat. Okay, so our granary finished constructing over in our second town. So let's assign a family to the granary just to get the food stored away as quickly as possible. We want to build out here. Stone cutters camp. Let's build it over here. So we can bring this road around. Our storehouse is complete. Let's assign a family there. And we need to move this. Let's build. Let's move this hitching post here. Let's build a second hitching post. So now that we have families assigned here, we'll get those supplies put away. We might be losing some terrain, but hopefully we'll get that fixed pretty quickly.
Just give me a hammer and something needs to not move.
Then we'll want to build 5 burbage plots. One, two, three, four, 5, each with. So that'll house 10 families once we upgrade them, but more important, it will get this to our first development point in this region. So over in our main town, this is now empty, so I can unassign this family. They've moved everything. They've made all the iron they've made over to the storehouse, so we don't need anyone here anymore, and we can demolish this. Can collect some stone. So we're doing really well on regional wealth here. I'm trying to decide what my next step should be. Well, first off, let's create, since we unlocked the development point for it, a charcoal kiln. So let's look at a place to put a well. Oh yeah, right in here is perfect. In reality, putting a well next to your stables and storehouses, I don't know if it's a great idea, but we'll work with it. So we are building out our houses. We built our stonecutter camp. We've got 7 months of food. We don't have any consumption on fuel yet, but we will want to start collecting food. Got people collecting logs, and we do want to think about collecting fish. So we want to take from our gathering, want to build a fisherman's hut. Too steep to build. So near the pond. Let's connect it over here. And we probably want a hunter's camp for meat as well, especially since we can't collect fish in the winter unless we use a point towards that. There we go. So we'll start getting some food and fuel going here, as well as we'll need planks and timber. So we do have them. And maybe some stone. We do have them collecting timber. So we'll want to build up a store of timber before we start making planks. Yeah, so we've still got some supplies over here that we need to get moved over into the storehouse. I think they're working on that. Yeah. Expand our living space. So our satellite town is coming along. And once we've built it up a bit, we'll start creating trade between these two towns so we can start getting iron over into here to build more weapons and supplies. Got 6 months of food. All right, we're still waiting for one log to be moved from here. Stonecutter camp is full. Oh, it's in Shadowy Region 2.0. So we probably don't need to collect too much more stone. How are we doing here? Yeah, so we don't need this guy here. We have stowed all of our supplies, so we don't need this person in the storehouse anymore. Do have our woodcutter bringing in fuel. So hopefully they can get these food camps built here pretty soon. And we'll also want to build an iron mine because that's the whole point of being in this region. Near the iron mine, we'll want bloomery to smite it or to smelt it into iron blocks. We'll need to wait till we have more wood. Need some planks and wood.
Hey, where are the pegs? Oh, there they are. Come on, laddie, come along.
Okay, so we've got 25 months worth of fuel right now, so we're just gonna not collect firewood for the time being. How are we doing on building this out? Hopefully we'll get that out pretty soon. Expand our living spaces. Chicken coops, so we get eggs in. So we're spending our starting regional wealth on chicken coops. All right, so we've increased our second town's level, so we're gonna go also to charcoal mining, then deep mining, charcoal burning, then deep mining, so that we can have an infinite iron supply. And that'll be important for our army. Need to keep grabbing more wood in so we can keep expanding these living spaces. Make sure we have a chicken coop in each one. Chickens. So we'll get some eggs in each one. We built our hunting camp is not constructed yet. Our fisherman's hut is almost constructed. Maybe we can get, yes, so maybe we can get a few fish in before the pond freezes over for the winter. Hopefully. So you notice there's a lot more fish than meat available, which I do think this game needs to be balanced to give more meat, especially now that you can make sausages from meat. But let's... So it's going to leave 120 fish in the pond. So it won't fish below 120, and that's probably great for allowing the fish to respawn. Let's expand this living space. Expand that living space. Still short on timber. Gonna put me one more family on collecting timber. And I'm gonna build some more burbage plots over here. I'm gonna replace those ones I built without backyards. So let's do this correctly this time. Something like that. Then decrease their sides till we have expanded living spaces. And that should be good. The charcoal kiln is ready to go. So we're going to remove one of our woodcutters. And we're going to throw them into our charcoal kiln, and they'll start turning firewood into charcoal, which is twice as efficient as firewood. And we do need to build more burbage plots because we've maxed out our living space. But we are doing great on our approval rating here. Over here, could be doing better. We've solved the homelessness problem. So now we just need to wait for it to come back up. With food and clothing variety. Expand our living space here. That should get us to 10 total families, which we may not need a lot more than that here. Because once again, we're really just building this out to sustain itself enough to mine iron. I don't think we need any more stone. So we're running out of berries for the winter. We have 6 months worth of food going into this one, so we actually are ahead of the game from where we were last time, probably because of our vegetables. And our additional eggs as well. We want to upgrade this one and turn it into the artisan like I was talking about before. Okay, here. And let's do more charcoal. We are running out of market space. So we just need to plop in another market. I think somewhere around here ought to do the trick. Let's build a road in this way. Yep, and as soon as we put that in, more stalls built out. Meanwhile, over here, I think we're ready to start doing some planks, so I'm going to pull a guy off of logging, put him onto planks. I also want to throw a guy onto hunting. All right, well, I think we made some good progress this time around. We've added more living space over here. We've definitely increased our regional wealth to nearly 2,000, and we're adding that into our personal treasury through taxes. And we've started a satellite town for the purpose of collecting iron. We haven't gotten our iron industry moving yet, but we will next time. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed these videos, please like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you on the next video. Have a great day.